authorization for a one-year contract with ABE Fence to provide emergency services for fencing and guardrail. To bid, contract can be renewed to additional 1 year period.
Thank you very much. Administration. Go ahead, Chris.
Good evening. This is for as-needed fencing repairs, bid number 2018-11. The bid was sent out on public purchase, 16 vendors accessed the bid. We did receive one bid response and one no bid response. And we're recommending award to ABE Fence.
Thank you very much. One quick question. When I read that, I saw that there wasn't an hourly price in there. Is that depending on what time it's called out, or?
Yeah, so it's based off of, there's a premium and non-premium rate, and again, this is for as-needed emergency services, so if it is for a planned project, it's going to be quoted out separately. This is for something that's when we have to call them out in an emergency situation, but we do have pricing set for a premium rate and a non-premium rate. Obviously, we would use the non-premium rate most of the time, unless the situation would warrant us to go for a premium rate, which would be on the weekend or after hours.
All right, we can open up for, have my colleagues got any comments on this?
I'm sorry.
That's it. Mr. Zuko, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Zuko. Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, and the $100 is the non-premium rate or the premium rate?
The non-premium,
What's the premium rate if we would have to call it out as an emergency?
$100.
$200, okay. What account does this come out of?
It's as needed, so if it's a parks program, it's gonna come out of parks. If it's streets,
Okay.
it's gonna come out of streets. If it's risk, so if we weren't able to put that information in, because it's for as needed, so that information's unknown.
No, I understand it. And did we use this service at all last year? And if so, what were the costs on it?
We did use them, we mostly worked with a different vendor. I don't know if you want to speak to.
Well, we didn't have it set up this way. It's just basically as needed services, we would go out and get 3 quotes, depending on what the price was for it. So we didn't have an on-call per se emergency situation contract. And, that's basically really what we're looking for here. If we have an accident at a major intersection where guide rail has to be put back in right away, we gotta have people on call ready to go that they can come out and take care of that service.
Okay, and Mr. Messinger, would you then consider this to be, since we didn't have it before, the rates that we're looking at, the $100 and $200 an hour plus percentage, is that going to end up resulting in a cost savings for us because we have the contract with them, if we have to use them?
I would say it'd probably be sort of like equal to what really it's going to be.
Okay.
Obviously, if we're using them for the emergencies and they get it, they'll be able to say that they're gonna be able to do it at a cost that's more economical because they know they're getting the emergency work. But then again, like I said, other projects that are getting done, the effect is still to go out and get quotes and see if it's the best price possible.
Okay, so this is strict, as it says in the bill, strictly for emergency issues. Great, thank you very much, Mr. Messinger. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mr. Zuko, for your indulgence.
Mr. Zuko?
Yes, thanks, Ms. Alba. I just have one quick question. With regards to the guardrail repairs, if that's on a part of a state highway, and we have a lot of those around the city, will we be getting reimbursed from insurance companies as a result of repairing that?
Yes.
To cover those costs?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
I have a question I missed. If you could tell me, Mr. Messinger, how often have we had to utilize these services?
We probably could have used them at least 3 or 4 times a year. See, what ends up happening is we have areas, I'll just give you, for instance, Mac Boulevard, over there at Dixon Street. We had some issues over there that technically really should have been taken care of right away. Right now, the fact of trying to go out, getting 3 contractors, getting them to come over, we're trying to work, with them and their time too. Until you get everything where you make sure that it's apples to apples, it's just a process that takes a long time.
That answers my question.
If we need to
It's
put in a
rare.
fence somewhere where we're doing a project, or we need a guardrail in a parking lot or whatever, that's something that can be planned out. Some of these things here with this, though, these are things we have to act on right away.
That's my thought. Yeah, it's a rare occasion then, so it would be only, 3 times a year is very rare. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just a quick question. If there is a state road, doesn't the state take care of it by itself?
Well, you gotta remember, all the intersections and the traffic signals and the lights and everything that come along with it, that's part of our permit. They permit it to us. I mean, we have to have regulations through the state, but a lot of those intersections will end up being our responsibility. Again, though, if there's an accident report, it'll be something that'll be reimbursed.
So like, let's say Tillman Street,
Most of the areas on Tillman Street, we would be responsible for.
it would be responsible.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Any questions from the public? Seeing none, Mr. Hamlin?
Ms. Appa,
Yes.
Mr. Greedy,
Yes.
Mr. Hendricks,
Yes.
Mr. McLean,
Yes.
Ms. Moda,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Zuko.
Yes.
President of 78 and no names.
Thank you very much. R91, please.
R91 is an authorization for a contract with Wood Environmental and Infrastructure Solutions in the amount of $283,530 to assist in the stormwater program development, implementation, and management services. It's a 2-year contract, may be extended by 1 year. 3 bids were received, 1 vendor submitted letter.
Okay, so Jessica, I think that pretty much takes away your thunder, so why don't we just go with Craig?
Okay.
And give us the lowdown here.
All right, so, understanding that this was all part of our 10-year plan, that we had provided to council before with, the stormwater fee. This is the next process, that's necessary. We don't take it lightly when we can actually have something done in-house versus, a consultant. But under this circumstance, with the amount of people we would actually need to get this done in the time frame that's necessary, we feel this is something that was part of the process that was brought forward, and we still feel that this should be something that should be done by a consultant. There's a long list of things that go through. The main part of it is permit compliance. I can read 20 different lines here, or we can answer questions however you feel that you want to do this.
We'll try and expedite. Any questions from council?
I have
Mr. Hendricks?
Mr. Anderson, will this be paid for then out of the stormwater fees?
Yes.
The separate fund, okay, thank you.
I just have 2 very quick questions. What's the renewal costs for the contract? Is there an increase from the fee that's in there?
This is actually, it's a 2-year contract. As far as this is totally separate, this is not a continuance from any
Okay.
other. This is a totally separate RFP that went out for these services.
Well, I mean, the 1-year renewal that we have at the end of the contract, what's the cost on that?
That would be if for some reason some of the work wasn't completed, that would be under the same price that's put forward.
Okay, that was my curiosity on that. And the second one is, Mr. Messier, you can just give us a quick rundown as to what exactly it is they'll be doing and how they're going to integrate with city staff as they do it.
Okay, well, that's the 20.
You can just give us a reader's digest.
Okay, so basically, the major part of what needs to be done is called swamp plan. It's our stormwater management plan. So it's getting us into compliance with what our new permit is. It's getting us to a point where what processes need to be first to come into compliance, so EPA and DEP are okay with it. What's the next process we need to do? This isn't a process that within 1 year, we're gonna come in total compliance with what the stormwater regulations are from basically some non-compliance, and the fact that our permit was back in 2004, now we're 14 years later, and it's 2018 with all the extra requirements that they have. So it's basically creating the plan so this way we can make sure what we need to do so we are in compliance and at least showing we're making the improvements.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Messier. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Anybody else from council? Public?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Welcome, Mr. Hirschman.
How are you doing? Right, the reason I'm here is, you know, it would help when you put these things together, it reads about the lowest responsible bidder. On here, but it has the names of the other bidders. Could you put the amount of bids besides the name of the bidders? I mean, it have names there, like eight.
We can do that for bids, but this is an RFP, so, price is not the primary consideration for this, it's only a piece of the evaluation factor. So it's not the primary decision maker in this, but we could definitely do that, and I'm pretty sure it's done on the bids, the tabulations put out there. But for this, it's not really relevant because it's only a small percentage of what it's evaluated on.
It would be great to know, real fast. Why do you always ask, see if it's over there, I don't know.
Sometimes it's not a single total dollar amount price, it's the way it's broken out with hourly rates and different things along those lines, but we can definitely try to provide you some additional information.
I'm sure I really hope there. But my next question, Mr. Hartzell told me he was gonna look into this, new bidding procedures that they're adopting over in the United States called the reverse auction bids. Mr. Hartzell, did you look into that?
Mr. Hirschman, that's
Oh,
not.
I'm talking to Mr. McLean. Did Mr. Hartzell look into it?
Yeah, but that's not what we have in front of us here.
Well, I was gonna get into this now. So maybe he could then negotiate this contract lower, if they would get into it. See, that's what this is all about. If you did this, reverse auction bids, in other words, it's just an RFP, if you submit a bid, and there are 3 or 4 bidders, then you get the 4 people in the room, and then they'll start offering alternatives, and then maybe you can lower the bid.
Or maybe they get in a fight too. Maybe they get in a fight too.
Well, that's right, you got this.
Mr. President,
Go ahead, Mr. Green.
you know, I don't think you can do that, you know, when you have a bid, especially a construction bid, it's the lowest bidder. I think that's the way it always works, right?
This is an RFP, so
Yeah, if it is an
don't
RFP,
want to confuse it.
if it is an RFP, you
Right.
can negotiate. So I don't know, I don't think you can, I never heard that
You
people. put all
can,
together.
so a reverse auction is a legal bidding tool, however, it's not appropriate in this type of situation. It wouldn't be relevant for this type of situation, but the RFP does have language in it that does allow for negotiation with whoever the final vendor is, and that's part of our process. So we do go through. The evaluation committee uses a number of evaluation tools, selects a vendor based off that, and then is able to negotiate if there's points they want to negotiate with that final vendor. So we do have room for negotiation. Reverse auctions wouldn't pertain to this piece, but we do have that language written into the RFP document, and it is something that occurs regularly with RFPs.
Would it be benefit the city around to adopt something in writing that the city is involved with reverse auction bidding? Because
We have language already in our documents that relate to reverse auctions.
you do.
And if the negotiations don't work out with the company, does it go back out again then?
No, we can negotiate with other vendors who
Just
have
negotiate with
responded.
us. Okay, so that's pretty close to where you're at, I think,
Thank you.
just for you. Anybody else from the public? Seeing nobody. Mr. Hammond?
Mr. Green,
Yes,
Mr. Hendricks,
Yes.
Ms. Moda,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Zuko,
Yes.
McLean,
No?
Ms. Adler.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeas.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna adjourn the contract meeting.